Iko Nini. So kuna vile Ruto alienda hapa akiwa a discussion in a South African show. Na kwa unashindwa tulifikaje hapa, lazima ujue kuna kitu moja mpendaga sana kusema juu ya Ruto. Ruto waga yuko surrounded na wase wengine wale mushindagwa if they actually have his best interest at heart. Ama it's what it said that Ruto listens to no one and Ruto just listens to himself. So kuna vile wase wa South Africa walikuwa na mdiscuss na walikuwa na discuss vile alireact to stories za Congo.
I want to know from you, Dr. Makobelo, who needs to be at the table. But before we do that, Sophie, Dr. Celia speaks about the EAC. We're thinking about, Kenyan President William Ruto, who has faced a bit of a backlash because not everybody is happy with the disclosure that he's briefed the French president about what is taking place in the Eastern DRC.
It goes back to what we spoke about, the genocide. You know that in 1994, Belgium and France were fingered in that genocide. So when you are a head of state, you don't call your peers in the region, in the Great Lakes region, or at least someone on the continent. You call France. France is losing influence in West Africa. What are you communicating? You call America. Fortunately, during the sitting of the Security Council, America was neutral, while Russia said, this problem, you can't forget the colonial past. That speaks to the genocide as well.
Yeah, so nacheki. So kama unashindwa kwa nini wanabonga juu ya Ruto kupigia Macron, wacha to go back to ile statement Ruto alireleasigi after history ya Congo ianze ku happen. So Ruto, this was on the 27th of January, alikuwa ameandika, I've spoken to President Emmanuel Macron of France on the situation in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. He has expressed support for the regional efforts to deal with the challenge. President Macron has committed his country's support for the interventions being carried out and for Kenya's participation in other peace initiatives in Somalia, Sudan, and South Sudan. So basically this is it. Africa, mushindaga nikisema hatuko free, and hatuko free because our freedom is something that can be taken any moment, at any moment by walami. And the reason is we have leaders that don't even know what our country needs to be able to protect itself. And apart from that, we have leaders who still feel like they are inferior to these Western leaders. And the only reason why they are inferior is because they allow corruption to happen. And because of corruption, now we are not able to even budget enough for defense and even like researching for defense. Because ukiangalia country kama China hawezi pigia mtu yoyote kumuuliza sijui tufanye nini. China will do whatever China wants to do. But sasa history of course ya Congo kumekuwa ukifuatilia, kumekuwa na story na watu wanaitwa the M23 rebels. So the M23 rebels kuna vile walienda hapo hii wiki wamechachisha kabisa. And ukitaka kuunderstand story zao, inasemekana ile side wako ni side ina border Rwanda, and that side, the place where the border ends, it's the same thing that happened in Kenya, where you find part of the tribe is Ugandan kama hapa Kenya, Waluya, kuna Waluya Ugandan na kuna Waluya Kenyan. The same thing sasa na Rwanda, kuna Tutsis that are Rwandese and Tutsis that are Congolese. So inasemekana most of the M23s are actually Tutsis, but sasa ni matutsis makongolese. Alafu matutsis makongolese, they are being helped by ubuda anaitwa Kagame kupigana na like now the army. And this is the reason why kuna tension katikati ya Congo na Rwanda. But one of the most beautiful things niliona ilikuwa ni kwa Sky News. Yes, kwa Sky News kuna vile walikuwa wanaonyesha vile mercenaries wale walikuwa wamehiriwa na gava kukuja kusaidia kufight ama rebels na vile walikuwa na treatiwa. Wacha tucheki jo.
Along with the deputy head of mission, but it's M23 that's controlling this convoy. The mercenaries are Romanian, told to walk in single file as they're chastised for their choices by M23.
Vous cherchez l'argent. You're fighting for the money. You're fighting for our life.
They were fighting with Congolese forces against them to keep this regional capital. And now they're at their mercy as they try to go home through Rwanda.
Don't joke to M23, my bro. Don't joke. That is army for the people. Don't joke. Don't joke. Move, quickly. Jump, quickly.
wacheki ule anaambiwa move quickly wanatandikwa makofi hapo. So hao ni mercenaries, na mercenaries wamefanya nikakumbuka kitu moja, sikuwa chigizi movie. Afu kwa hizi movies unapataga vile sijui wasa wawili wameingia pale wanavuruga sijui wasa wangapi. Cheki vile ama mercenaries ni wengi and they could do nothing. Wako pale wanagongwa wanakosiwa heshima. And sasa tukibonga sasa juu history ya Congo vile nilikuwa nasema, so inasemekana, like I don't know how true this is, but one of the things that's being said is the rebels are being supported by the Rwandese Defense Forces RDF, and hii story imeleta tension sana. So kuna vile Ramaphosa, the president wa South Africa, kuna vile alikuwa amepost on Twitter, alikuwa amesema fellow South Africans, following the recent intensification of fighting in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, South Africa has lost 13 brave soldiers who are dedicated to their mission and committed to peace. The fighting is the result of an escalation by the rebel group M23 and Rwanda Defense Forces militia engaging the armed forces of DRC and attacking peacekeepers from the SADC mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So vile alipost hii ilibaki imekatia Kagame kabisa, cause Kagame as much as yuko involved kwa hii fight, somehow ni kama he does not want to come out clean and say he's involved. But vile nasema, this is a fight involving like M23, majority of them allegedly are Tutsis, and that's why of course this guy is involved in this fight. Wacha tusikie vile Kagame alikuwa amejam.
For the last 2 days, on Monday and today this morning, I spoke with the president of South Africa, who sought me out to speak with me on this matter because of their involvement in Eastern Congo. And he's also there pretending to be playing a peacemaker role. And he has a force that has been fighting alongside FDLR and has been fighting the M23 on the instructions of Tshisekedi, because these are people who are not supposed to be in Congo, that these are from Rwanda, or the M23 are not Rwandans, please. These are Congolese, and one time he accepts it, then another time he says no, part of it is yes, and then the other part is from Rwanda, and these are he keeps on. And how do we, leaders of our own countries, accept this to go on forever?
So na cheki, so ukichekio pata na bonga juu ya vile ni Tshisekedi ndio president wa Congo. Sometimes ana agree out ni Rwandans, they are not from Rwanda. Mimi usemaga Rwanda, I don't know kama usemaga Rwanda vile kwa naisema, anamaanisha mostly juu hiyo story kwa nasema ya like the Tutsis. So these Tutsis are Congolese, but they are Tutsis, and Tutsis are running government ya Rwanda. So of course if there is a time of war, kuna vile ata blame Rwanda. Yeah. So does Kagame have a role in this conflict? Of course I think yuko nayo na ama M23, because M23 vile wanafight na ile umanga ya Museveni siku zake, na kwa Museveni pia alisaidiwa na Kagame, alafu wanafight kama pia vile Kagame alifight ku take over Rwanda, alafu inakan the same thing ile ina happen hapa. Wazungu on the other side, wazungu hawezi taka kuena peace Rwanda. Congo is one of those countries where no one wants peace, like the Western world, because a peaceful Congo would be very good for the Congolese, but not only that, it would be very good for Africa. A peaceful Congo, a well-run Congo can change the whole of Africa. So unapata hata ile time hizi forces zingine ziko hizo, where you find Kenya tuko involved hapo, South Africa wako involved, utapata still we are there protecting white interests. This is the reason why after history yote kuhappen and the M23 rebels kuanza kufanya kile wanafanya, saizi the British wanatishia Rwanda, wanaambia wataacha kuwapatia aid. Apparently wanapatia Rwanda aid around 1 billion pounds per year. and they're threatening to pull that. And the reason is no one wants peace. Watasema wanataka peace, akina Macron, akina nani, but the minute there is peace and Rwanda starts asking for the right amount of money for their minerals and everything, it's not good for the people who've been getting those things on the cheap, because as long as there is war, only a few people can get rich. Now also wanna get rich through the black market, so inamaanisha everything is sold at a very like low prices. But yeah, history ya Congo ni interesting, kwa saizi kile najua naweza taka kujua vile Kagame ana feel juu ya Ruto, because I also feel like Kagame right now does not respect Ruto, because for Ruto to even like, yes, you had a conversation with Macron, yes, hakuna shida, just don't put it out there. It's embarrassing when you put it out there that you ran to your colonial master to tell your colonial master, oh, there's a problem in Eastern Congo, what do we do about this and this and this. Alafu ukiendelea kucheki Kagame kwa hii story amejam, na kila mtu amejam mpaka hata na Uhuru, because anasema according to him this peace mission in Congo is being turned into a personal matter. So kuna time amesikia inaitwa the Uhuru Treaty, time inaitwa the what, anasema like it's about characters and it's about what. And one thing about this guy is he's a guy from the bush. Nasikiaga huku inje, like all the elections who happen in Rwanda is what happen to appease the masses hapa inje, but ye mwenyewe akikuwa Rwanda apparently yeye waambiaga watu, ukitaka hii presidency enda kwa bush alafu kuje, na hiyo enda kwa bush waga namaanisha wewe anzisha war alafu ukishinda tuone ni aje. So ni mseni warrior kabisa. So yes, nimecheki kuna hizo ma Twitter wars za wasa wa South Africa wanaonyesha like what South Africa has as a military versus what Rwanda has. Yes, of course, as a military South Africa lazima ikuwe ridiculous, because don't forget South Africa pia ili inherit a lot of stuff post apartheid. So of course apartheid ikuwa inamaanisha they had to protect themselves, because maybe walikuwa wanaogopa wanaweza kuwa attacked from outside, from Africa. So yes, if that was there I'd put my money on South Africa, but also we have to look at the distance. Mnatoka huko kwote mnaenda huko kufight Rwanda, like how would South Africa and Rwanda go to war if they needed to go to war? Nachikizo ni zile vitu zile zinakuonyesha, but hatunid kufika hapo. I think the worst thing about history yote and the African Union inakuwaga useless kabisa. The African Union ingekuwa ishakaa chini, ikakaa chini na wasewa like Congo au kina Tshisekedi and try to come up with a solution, even if they need to come up with a solution kama ile ya UAE where people end up being like rulers of some kingdoms and they still share the resources. That would be better than war where it's a country. Mi wenyewe nishaendaga Congo and it's a very interesting country because they keep right, yes, they keep right, but gari zao ni hizi zetu. There's something that was happening funny about that country. I remember like driving there was just crazy, and hakuna mabarabara. This is something we take for granted. Kenya kumejaa lami. I remember like nile siko na passport yangu hapa ningeangalia the cities that I went through, but I went through nini and hakuna barabara and you just feel unsafe. Alafu usiku ikifika it's just dark because electricity pia ni luxury fulani ile haiko. So yeah, sometimes we take like Kenya for granted na zile vitu ziko, but history yote of course kwa tuna go back to our president. Our president is still doing this goofy stuff, and this goofy stuff is courtesy of the people he's surrounded himself with. He has a lot of clowns, and all these clowns think about is pleasing him, and they never protect him from maybe things ajui. Unakumbuka ndio msee alienda hapa amerecognize country fulani when he became president, like after 2 days some president came and told him recognize our country, akaenda hapa amerecognize and then ikaleta tension. I think ilikuwa na Morocco, like amekuwa na mablanda zingine zile na make ikikam to foreign relations zile unashindwa like kwani is Sudi the cabinet secretary for foreign relations ama Sudi tuambie Iko Nini